Hey everybody, this is Trying to Live with a rather lengthy video today. We've got a couple of things to talk about. Well, more than a couple of things to talk about actually, but a couple of you guys have sent me .craft files, a copy of your ships to try out. The first one's going to be from a guy named Mega Panther 2000. The ship's called Volcano R1. And it is a moonlander. Now, Mega Panther, I must tell you, I've actually had to fix a little bit on your rocket. I think it's probably caused by different versions. Originally, this had fuel tanks that went, or fuel lines that went from here to here. Hoping to empty out this tank, but it doesn't work that way. The tanks drain kind of downward, and then so you actually have to say, okay, this bottom one here actually needs to flow up to these top ones here. But anyways, Mega Panther 2000 asked me if I could land his ship for him. Wanted to see me do it, and so we're gonna do it. And I'm going to actually talk about the ship. So whether you like it or not, Mega Panther 2000, Mega Pathfinder. What is that? Anyways, we're gonna talk about your ship. But you can see here it's working quite well. The problem before was it would drain one, and then you just carry 2 tanks of fuel. But here it's draining off the 3 very quickly, then it's going to do from this stack. So, critique. It's a pretty good design. Usually, in my opinion, on things like this, the RCS units, for stability, I don't really care for them generally, just because if you get to the point where your ship really needs them, then there's something wrong with your ship usually. And to be honest with you, this ship really doesn't need them that much. It probably does need some vectoring engines. I think this one here is a vectoring engine, but none of the rest of them are. And then this really is sort of overkill. Like, you could lob off most of this rocket. Like, if you took these 2 and stuck them on the bottom here in the center, and then cut this in half and made that your lander, you would have quite a bit less rocket. It'd be simpler. But I think he's onto something with this inner stack here. I think it's the way he did it isn't like ideal, but it's very inspiring, because believe it or not, a lot of the cool things that I do, even if I invent it, isn't necessarily I just think about it and think and come up with something. Usually I see something on the forums, or a picture on Reddit, or a video on YouTube, and I go, it'd be better if it would do this. And so this one's got a kind of a cool thing. I think I've actually tried this before. I've never really succeeded at it, but I think you got something pretty cool with the fuel tanks here. And that is actually, if you were to take these tanks here and move them up to this level here, not quite sure how well that would work, but move them up at least above these fuel tanks here, and then after you drain out these fuel tanks, you could actually just drop them out the center, and I think that would be pretty cool. I don't know quite how that would work, but I think it'd be pretty cool. The other downside of this is, without vectoring engines, you actually do need the RCS units, because the ship is so stinking tall to turn it for your orbital burn. And it seems a little low on fuel. I'm actually going to go towards 90. It seems like it could be a little bit underpowered, so I'm going to kind of play things safe. Also, somebody asked me to do a video where I did moon landing towards 90 degrees rather than 270 like I always do, and so I'm going to do that. Now, the reason why I always go towards 270 degrees is because it takes less time right now, but it takes more fuel. It takes less time in the game sense. Like, if you could like speed up time, and then while you're on the ground, and then do your launch, you could probably time it better. But that was kind of a new feature, and so I never did it. Kind of turning over. I'm actually going to use my RCS units because this is taking a while. So we'll use the RCS units to help us turn over, keep under control, because these long rockets are very hard to control. Let's see if we can make this over. Alright. Not too fast there, rocket. I'm actually going to turn the SAS on far sooner than I need to. Usually I go past this dot and hit it as I go by, but I'm going to turn on very soon. That way That way we get it going a little sooner. We're kind of a little wobbly. Not too bad. How are we on fuel? This will be our last set of tanks of fuel. One cool thing about this rocket is the fact that, come on back, rocket, is that, alright, I'm actually going to drop power on this, is the fact that he's timed all his stages well, which is always nice. I never time my stages. I'm pressing spaces a zillion times usually. Unless I really have to, I don't usually time my stages out. Alright, let's rocket this critter back up. There we go. Keep this thing going sideways. If you hear a little crying in the background, my son is getting a little tired, so that's what kids do when they get tired. And because the rocket is getting kind of sideways heavy, come on back here, because of the way the fuel is and no vectoring engines, it's going to kind of go out of control. So I'm actually going to get rid of these right away so that we can, even though there's extra fuel left in them, because I'm starting to lose control, all that's just going to do is just make me get lost in space. Alright, get this thing rocketed back up. Hopefully we can get our ship under control here. This is really where a vectoring engine would be amazing. Why are you, even with the RCS units, okay, my RCS unit, I ran out of RCS units. No, I didn't. Why are my RCS units not flowing? Oh, did I find another bug in this game? Oh, look at that. My throttle is all the way down. The engines are firing. Turn my SAS off. That was weird. The SAS kept the engines running. I don't think I was using up any fuel. That was so weird. Alright, let's see if we can keep this going. I guess this is one of those videos I need to like submit and be like, hey, by the way, here's a bug. Alright, turn the SAS on. Oh, look at that. If you have your SAS on it, you cannot control your throttle. How about that? Alright, RCS on. Let's get this thing. I guess we're going to manually control this rocket now. I'm not looking forward to that. Alright, come on rocket, stay put. Alright, turn the SAS on. Oh, RCS is doing nothing. SAS is actually doing nothing. Oh, long rocket. Alright, and we're actually double overheating. Look at that. This will be a fun video to send in. All the bugs in KSP in one flight. Alright, let's see how we're doing. Need to kick this critter back up. Alright, we need to lose power. Oh man, I really messed that up. Tell you what guys, this is not a good flight. Oh, the game's kind of got some bugs thrown into it. That's unfortunate. Alright. Oop, don't turn the SAS on. There we go. We'll get our orbit going. Hopefully we can salvage our operations here. It's a big front end to send out. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, and that's an orbit. All right. Apoapsis, we're very high, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's alright. Alright, now the next thing to do, find the moon. Where's the moon at? There it is. Oop, not the right button. Push the wrong buttons. Alright. And now what we need to do is wait. And by wait, actually it's a good thing we were low, because now we actually have to wait for the sun, or the moon, to not just set, but also to rise. Alright, so now it's set. I'm going to spin this around here. And as soon as we've seen the moon to rise, we need to do our forward burn. Yep, this is why I always... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That's the other reason why. It's because the moon flies up just like that. Oop, don't turn the SAS on. Turn the RCS on. Spin rocket. The moon just pops up, and so hopefully we're not too late for our burn. Alright. Do our munward burn. Hopefully keeping this thing on track. Now it looks like I'm a little steep on this angle, so I'm actually gonna push our rocket out this way. Oh my goodness. This is not actually very easy to fly. I shouldn't say the rocket is terribly difficult to fly. I'm just not used to it. Oh, and I do have RCS units on, so let me actually turn those off so it's more subtle. Just a very long ship. Alright, am I out of fuel? Yes. Alright. Alright. So, on a positive note, I now have my PayPal fixed. I feel like I have spent more time fixing my PayPal than actually using my PayPal. But even though I dislike PayPal, it's okay because I guess it's worth it. Oh, on a side note, oh, we totally missed. We're a little low. On a side note, I might actually not have the most up-to-date version of 0.13.2 because I downloaded it pretty much as soon as it came out, and then they actually put an update to it. So there's actually 2 versions of 0.13.2. Anyways, how much fuel do we have left? Oh, we should have a bit of fuel left. Hopefully our SAS units won't keep us... What is up with that? That is unreal. Alright. Heading toward the moon. Now the moon's heading towards us. We should be a little under it, so we're actually going to have to do a little bit of a retro burn. Whoa, 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 whoa! Okay, this is bad. We are very close to the planet. We're much closer than I care to be. And that SAS is not doing anything. I do have our vectoring engines on this one, so I should probably spin this critter around faster. Alright. Come on, correct. So I'm doing this basically without SAS, because I probably need to restart the game. Alright. I'm going to go and turn on precision flight, and throttle this critter up. Just about out of RCS fuel, that's fine. I want to get rid of that fuel because it's going to lighten the ship. Very heavy ship to steer in. Yeah, the SAS is not working. I don't know what's working with it. It really needs to be like 0.13, 0.2, 0.1 or something like that. Anyways, alright. Never done this without the SAS. So this is going to be very interesting. I've never done it in this ship either, so this will be a lot of firsts. I've got about a little more than a tank left, and so that should be helping us out. The game is not being kind to me, but oh well. I like long odds. Oh, on a side note, thanks to all your guys' help and your upvotes, I was able to win the Reddit challenge number 2, which means I'm in charge of picking the next Reddit challenge. SAS still doesn't work. So if by next Thursday, which will be a week from the 26th, whatever day that is, it must be February 2nd, Groundhog's Day. On Groundhog's Day, before Groundhog's Day, if you have any brilliant ideas about a good challenge, send me a personal message or just leave it as a comment. I've got a couple ideas. I don't know which one I'll really pick, but I've got a couple, I think, are pretty decent ideas. We'll see. But depending on how the game, if you know 0.14 comes out or whatnot, I might have different ideas. I know exactly what the challenge will be if 0.14 comes out before next week, but if it doesn't, I still have a couple ideas. So, but anyways, point being, if you have a brilliant challenge, just let me know. All right, coming down. It's taking a lot of fuel to slow us down. All right, 3,000 meters. Falling a little faster than I want. Alright, coming down over 100 meters per second. Alright, gotta get rid of some speed, because we are about to smash into the ground. Whoa, 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 rocket. Whoa, rocket. Whoa, rocket. Alright, drop speed. Kind of going low. Come on now. Too fast. Too slow. Oh, I can't control my rocket fast enough. I want the SAS back. I want the SAS back. Alright, looking good. Oh, no, no, come back. Don't turn sideways. Come on. I'm out of RCS. Now I'm falling too fast. Looks good. Oh, I'm about to hit. That's it. That's it. We're on the floor. We're on the ground. Alright, we're kind of scooting. Hey, we made it! That's ridiculous. Alright, so let me check here. Okay, that'll be good. Alright, so we have... Normally this would be more than enough, but I've got an RCS tank, a bunch of RCS units, and two tanks, so hopefully this will be enough. And my SAS isn't working, so, but that's not a big deal. Alright, let's make it home. Launching straight up. Glitch game will not stop us. Need to hit 800 meters per second in order to break, I guess out of the SOI, sphere of influence. After we get that, then we just need to retro burn at apogee. Alright, let's see how we're doing. I don't want to use any more fuel than I have, because this is sort of a large ship. It's not always a good thing to have a large ship. Here we go, and boom. Alright, that's good. How much fuel do we have? It's gonna be close, guys. It's gonna be close. Alright, we gotta get out of the sphere of influence. We are actually gonna fly off. Where are we gonna fly off into? Middle of space, okay. That's actually not necessarily a bad thing. It means our apoapsis will be larger, which means we can actually slow ourselves down a little bit more. Zip away. Whoa. Pushing too many buttons. Too fast. Alright. Where's our apoapsis at? Alright, all the way out here. So we're going to get out to the apoapsis. Because this apoapsis is so far away, it's actually going to be to our benefit, because it means we actually have to do less changes in speed, because we're going to be going so slow. Yeah, we're just only going a few hundred meters per second, which means the delta V we actually need is just going to be like 100 meters per second, less than, at a retro burn. So that's going to be pretty cool. I want to go faster. We're going so slow. Whoa! Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. We actually have lost our sphere of influence from the sun, or from the Kerbin. Can I get it back? There's another problem. You can't actually change your. You can switch to the planets and stuff, but you can't switch to the spacecraft. Switch. All right. Well. If I hadn't been such a fool of it, probably could have made it back. Anyways, so there's one ship. I'm gonna restart my client, the game I mean, and then we'll check out the next one. And I'm back. All right, let's see what our next one is. It's called Velocity Unknown. It's by a feller named Sinstrite. Sent me the ship. Said my computer isn't powerful. He said there's a lot of rockets here. Let's see what we... Oh! That makes sense. He said his computer isn't powerful enough to run I can hear my video card, the fan on it. It's getting hot. Alright, let's get this thing going before my computer explodes. He says his computer isn't good enough to run this. Takes some pretty good timing. He wants to know how fast it'll go, and so we'll go straight up and we'll see how we do. And so let's turn the SAS on. He's not using any advanced SASs, he's using the standard ones. Quite a few of these critters here. That is a big rocket. That's kind of an old school kind of rocket there. Wow. Oh, are we gonna overheat? Nope, doesn't look like it. That is a big rocket. Even my system's having some troubles. Alright. He says it's perfect timing, so I gotta get this timing right. Poof. Hey, look at that. Everything looks great. So anyways, oh, there's a problem. That doesn't look right. They probably should put a few more things in there. That is a lot of fuel tanks. How many fuel tanks is that? That's 38 plus whatever these are, plus 30. That's obscene. That's 5. So this right here is 30 tanks. That's unreal. Anyways, some people have actually asked me about my system specs. I'm running a Phenom 4. It's a black edition, so I can open it up and change it however. Unfortunately, the black edition Phenoms are basically maxed out as is, and if you can get, you know, a few more 100 megahertz of speed out of them, you're doing pretty good. And so it's not overclocked or anything like that. And I'm running a 4 gigs of memory. I'm using an MSI board, and I'm using a AMD ATI, whatever you want to call them. I think it's a 5770 is what it is. It's you know, used to be pretty good, not any good anymore. I mean, it's still good, but it's not the high-end one anymore, which is fine, because on my motherboard I actually designed it so as rockets come, or not rockets, as video cards come out more and more faster and faster, that I can actually, like the first card is going to cost, several $100s, like maybe a $400 card, and then as prices go down, I can then buy that same card again for $200 and put that in there with it. And so instead of having one card running, I can actually have two, and as prices go down and down and down, I can keep adding more cards in there, and I can actually fit 4 video cards in there. I doubt I'll ever do that, to be sure, but it's, I'll probably end up sometime with having 2 video cards in there at least, maybe 3, but it's pretty cool. A lot of people really like the Intels. But I don't put an Intel into a computer until I spend I'd have to spend over $1,500 on a computer before I'd put an Intel in it, and they're getting a little wonky. I'm actually going to switch you back to Surface there. There we go. That way we'll keep everything on the same thing. But I don't use Intels usually because there we go. Because you gonna stay with us? Oh, we're maxing everything. Is it coming back? We are using an advanced SES. I just noticed that. I should have seen that before. Yes, it is coming back. Okay, good. The reason why I don't is because processors don't matter as much as they used to. They used to be like everything. Now video cards matter more. Chipsets matter more. Your hard drive matters more. The slowest thing on your computer is your hard drive. Most people whose computers run slow, it's often because they're running too much off their hard drive, and the hard drive is slow. And so one of the things that people like to do is just get the biggest processor. I got to get an i7, and if you haven't made the rest of your system good with it, it doesn't matter. And the other reason why I use AMDs is because Intel doesn't do great graphics. And so, like, you could do an Intel with an AMD, or I could do an AMD with an AMD, and you're like, oh, that looks pretty good. Obviously, I'm not going to run desktop graphics, but if you're using, say, like a laptop or a cheaper computer, the Intel onboard graphics are usually just garbage. They really are terrible. They can't put a good chipset together for the life of them. Well, sort of. They can put a bunch of stuff on it, but I never liked their chipsets. Just as a pretty obvious example, they came out with this chip called the Atom, which is a 4-watt chip. Most processors are 65 watts or 95 watts or 125 watts. This thing's 4 watts. It's ultra low power, and it's brilliant, except that Intel went ahead and put it with a chipset, because the processor is actually attached to the board, like you can't remove it. with a chipset that takes 23 watts, nearly 6 times more power than the actual processor. And then it couldn't even do like HDMI very well or anything like that. And if it wasn't for NVIDIA coming out with their Ion chipset, Intel would have made the silliest little processor ever. And so usually for low-end systems, AMDs, I just like them better. And then I can say, okay, the processor's an AMD, the chipset's an AMD, and the video card's an AMD. And, you know, okay, so I don't, you know, I don't get 165 frames per second. I only get 140 frames per second. Fact of the matter is, if you go over 60 frames a second, my screen can't change the picture fast enough, so it doesn't matter. And the high-end boards are so much cheaper, and the high-end processors are so much cheaper. The motherboard is really the amazing thing. It costs, for a top-of-the-line AMD motherboard versus a top-of-the-line Intel motherboard, it can cost like $100 more in difference, which is unreal. Like, you're just like, $100? I could do so much more with $100. So anyways, I've now given you my great big giant opinion on computer hardware and gaming and whatnot. Now there are situations where you might want to use an Intel, such as video editing in a single thread when you can't use a graphics card. Yes, that's when you want to use an Intel, a very expensive Intel. Other than that, it really doesn't matter. You know, the processor is dead. Long live the graphics card. Anyways, so next time you go out and you're looking for a nice, you know, desktop computer, and you go into Best Buy, well, first of all, that was your first mistake. Don't go to Best Buy and buy computers and things like that. Generally, if it's a desktop, find your local computer guru and talk to them. Tell them what you want out of your computer. Tell them how much you want to spend. Tell them what you like to do, and they'll build you one perfectly for you. And man, this is a long, long rocket burn. I'm going to turn the SAS off here for a second, see if I can correct it a bit. And if you get a laptop, make sure you get a good high-quality laptop. Oh, we're glitching again. I can see the SAS breaking. Oh, that was supposed to be fixed. It used to be it could kind of stick off the side here. But anyways, look for companies that make their own motherboards. MSI makes their own motherboards. Asus makes their own motherboards. And also, I really like Lenovo's as brand. I like them better as IBMs, but the Lenovo's are pretty good. The IBMs were great because you know, it was like, you know, most computers now, they've got like, you know, pink and stripes and shiny and things, and the IBMs were like, look, it's this big brick. And, you know, you couldn't tell if it was a new one or an old one, and it didn't matter because they were built like trucks, and they were built like trucks, and like, you know, you could just do whatever. They were powerful computers underneath. They weren't just like, oh, look, this thing's pretty. For example, one of the issues that I'm running into with my personal laptop is that it's getting very old, but it's still really good. It's like a 6-year-old laptop, but it's still doing everything basically that I want it to, which is kind of unfortunate because, you know, there's no point in upgrading your computer, you know, not necessarily upgrading, but getting a new computer unless it you know, but because the one I got was so good at, you know, in general aspect, I didn't get the cheapest one. 6 years later, it's not like, you know, it still surfs the internet and does things. No, like, it kicks butt. Like, I can still run KSP on it, and I can still play Minecraft on it, and it's 6 years old, and it's a laptop, right? And the average laptop, in my experience, has always lasted like 4 years. And so, you know, and at the end of the 4 years, it's like, you know, falling apart, and it can't run anything. But anyway, so that's another thing. Always get something nice. And if you ever use the word gaming and laptop together, don't. Never put a gaming laptop in the same terms, right? Because you're always sacrificing something. Either it will never, you know, the battery will last you 10 seconds and the thing will weigh 20 pounds, or it's not really a gaming machine, okay? Even that $3,000, you know, Alienware or Razer laptop, you know, it's not a gaming machine. It's just a laptop that has a decent graphics card that also costs twice as much than it should. Or you could just get a normal laptop with a decent graphics card and maybe it'll last you for 6 years. Anyways, this is the longest rocket in the world. My goodness. The thing is, like, we're pretty high up. Well, we're fairly high up, but the thing burns for so long. Oh man. But we're not going to give up now. Anyways, another thing coming up is version 0.14, which I'm very excited about. Like I said, I got my PayPal account fixed. I never liked PayPal. I've spent more time fixing my PayPal account than actually using my PayPal account. But I got it all fixed up and everything just so that I could put my $10 down and get the game. If you don't know version 0.14, you actually have to own the game to get everything before that. Basically 0.13 will be free as a demo, and everything brand new, all the cool new features, you actually have to pay for, which is cool because they gave us a lot for a long time for free. But the biggest thing they're working on is multi-ships. Like, you can do multiple missions at a time, which will be amazing because all those docking videos and things like that I've been practicing on and showing you guys, like, imagine when the game can actually do this. They're not going to implement docking, but you can actually bump two ships together, and then when they do implement docking, you'll be able to transfer fuel from one ship to another. You'll be able to transfer personnel. You'll be able to transfer, what was the other thing? Oh, cargo. I don't know what the cargo is, but you'll be able to transfer it. I'm assuming it's things for missions, like experiments or things like that. Which means ultimately you could fly a large ship up, leave it all together, and then refuel the thing, which would be pretty cool. But all those slow docking things are actually coming into play. They're going to start being important, and not just flying straight up at a high rate of speed. That's a long rocket. At least my SAS is sort of holding up. I wonder if I turn the SAS off, if the rocket will still keep firing. Yes! It is still firing. So it's actually a bug with the game. I didn't just crash it. I'm going to have to actually check to see if I actually have the right version. I think, if I remember right, I actually did double check and re-download it. So I think this is the newest version. So, oh well, that's what you get for, whoa, 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 come back, ship. And then I think my SAS just broke. Yeah, I think it's broken. Alright, so the rest of this is completely powered by me. I think it's just going to go off course over and over again. Yeah, it's not working. Oh, are you coming back? No, you're not. Oh well, anyways, let's see here. Like, the controls are working right, but it's not, the ship's not responding to the controls. Like, when I do the controls, it's responding properly, but when the SAS is on, yeah, we're almost done. Whew. That is almost a 14-15 minute burn. 14 minutes is going to come up on too. Alright. There we go. So, let's see, what's your name? Sinstrite, that is the answer. Buy an AMD, buy a good computer, upgrade it as you go, buy a computer good enough to upgrade. Oh, no, that wasn't it. That wasn't the answer. The answer is 10,497 meters per second, give or take. Whew. That was a long video. I'm gonna go take a nap or something.